I loved him in the quiet ways first, the way I remembered how he took his tea, the way I listened when his words trailed off, the way I believed in him even when he doubted himself. Loving him did not feel like effort. It felt like purpose. From the beginning, he spoke of forever as if it were already written, as if time itself had agreed to wait for us. I believed him, not because he promised, but because he looked at me like I was home. We built our world slowly. Late-night conversations turned into shared dreams. Small plans turned into imagined futures. He spoke about growing old together, about mornings that would begin with my name and nights that would end with my hand in his. I gave him my whole heart without fear because he made me feel safe doing so. In his presence, love felt certain, steady, and unbreakable. I adjusted my life around him without realizing it. My priorities shifted, my dreams reshaped themselves to fit alongside his. When he was tired, I was patient. When he struggled, I was strong. I believed that love meant standing firm, even when it was difficult. I believed that choosing someone every day was the truest form of devotion. And I chose him, again and again. There were signs I didn't question. Missed calls explained away by work. Short replies blamed on stress. Moments of distance softened by apologies and reassurances. I trusted him because trust felt natural. Love does that. It convinces you that doubt is unnecessary, that loyalty is mutual simply because yours is unwavering. He called me his forever. He said I was the one who understood him, the one who stayed. I held on to those words as if they were vows already spoken. I imagined a future built on everything we had shared. I believed that love, when given fully, would be protected. I did not know then that forever can be promised without intention. That words can sound sincere while hiding truths. That love can feel real even when it is incomplete. In that season of my life, I was certain of one thing only. I loved him with everything I had, and I believed forever belonged to us. The change did not arrive suddenly. It crept in quietly, disguised as routine. His laughter became shorter, his presence less steady. Conversations that once flowed easily began to feel forced, as if something unseen stood between us. I told myself it was temporary. Everyone goes through phases, I reasoned. Love requires patience. But patience began to feel like waiting alone. He grew distracted, his attention drifting elsewhere even when he sat beside me. When I spoke, he listened halfway. When I asked questions, his answers felt rehearsed. Still, I trusted him. Trust, after all, was the foundation we had built everything on. I noticed how protective he became of his phone. How certain names were never mentioned. How his stories no longer aligned the way they once had. Doubt whispered softly at first, easy to ignore. I silenced it with love, convinced that suspicion would only harm what we had. I blamed myself instead. Maybe I wasn't enough. Maybe love, once comfortable, naturally lost its intensity. I tried harder. I gave more. I became quieter with my needs and louder with my understanding. I believed that if I loved him better, the distance would disappear. But love cannot compete with secrecy. No matter how deeply I cared, I could not reach the part of him that had already begun to leave. He was present in body but absent in truth. The warmth that once surrounded us faded into something unfamiliar and cold. One evening, his absence felt heavier than usual. He spoke less, avoided my eyes, and left early with an excuse that didn't settle right in my chest. That night, doubt finally found its voice. It wasn't loud or dramatic, it was aching and tired. I realized then that love should not feel like guessing. Forever should not feel uncertain. And yet, I remained hopeful. I still believed that honesty would return, that whatever was breaking us could be fixed. I didn't know that the truth, once revealed, would change everything I thought I knew about love, loyalty, and the forever I had trusted so completely. The truth did not come gently. It arrived without warning, stripping away every illusion I had protected. I learned not through confession, but through discovery, fragments of a life he had hidden carefully. Conversations meant for someone else. Promises repeated, but never to me alone. In that moment, everything fell silent. The words he once spoke echoed differently now, hollow and untrue. Forever, I realized, had been shared carelessly. The love I thought was sacred had been divided without my knowing. I confronted him with trembling hands and a breaking voice. He did not deny it. His silence confirmed what my heart already knew. He spoke of confusion, of mistakes, of feelings he couldn't explain. But none of his explanations softened the truth. He had chosen betrayal while I chose faith. What hurt most was not just that he loved someone else. It was that he allowed me to believe I was the only one. That he let me plan a future while he lived a separate reality. The forever he promised had never included honesty. I questioned everything. Every memory felt rewritten. Every smile now carried doubt. I wondered how long I had been loving someone who was already gone. How long forever had been slipping through my fingers while I held onto it alone. He apologized, but apologies cannot restore what deception destroys. Trust, once broken, does not return unchanged. Love, once betrayed, carries scars even when it survives. I realized then that loving someone deeply does not protect you from being hurt by them. I walked away not because I stopped loving him, but because I finally loved myself enough to stop accepting less than truth. Forever, I learned, cannot exist where loyalty does not live. Healing did not come quickly. It came in waves, some gentle, others overwhelming. There were days when memories returned uninvited, and nights when silence felt too loud. Letting go of him meant letting go of the future I had imagined, and that loss demanded time. I learned to sit with my pain instead of running from it. To accept that loving deeply was never my weakness. His betrayal was not proof that I loved wrong, it was proof that he did. Slowly, I reclaimed the parts of myself I had given away so freely. I stopped asking why I wasn't enough. I started understanding that his choices were never a reflection of my worth. Forever was never mine because he was never capable of honoring it. One day, I realized I no longer waited for him in my thoughts. His absence stopped hurting the way it once did. In that space, something new grew: strength, clarity, and self-respect. I learned that love should feel safe, honest, and mutual. I no longer believe in forever built on words alone. I believe in actions, in consistency, in love that does not require doubt. I believe in choosing myself when someone chooses deception. I gave him my whole heart, and I do not regret it. Loving fully is never a mistake. But now, I understand that forever must be earned, protected, and shared equally, or it is not forever at all. And this time, I will never give my heart to someone who cannot hold it with truth.